wanted to talk about everything that I do not miss about trucking and everything that I do miss. I'm gonna break this down into two videos, so stay tuned for another one. But I first want to talk about everything that I do not miss, because that's going to be much easier for me to think about, because I genuinely am so glad I quit. I'm glad I trucked, and I'm glad for 14 years, 2 million miles, and I'm glad I quit. But let's start off with the first and foremost period, the food. Now, I hated having to cook in the truck, and I hated getting fast food all the time, because there's not really that many good restaurants by truck stops, period. A lot of times you're in a bigger city or rural areas, it seems like you're never at a convenient location. And what I noticed I had to do to get a decent place to eat is I'd park at Walmarts instead of parking at truck stops. Well, you don't have a shower there and everything, so it's not ideal to park there overnight. But I mean, I just feel so much healthier, so much more vitality since I quit trucking, and I'm eating better food. I like cooking in my kitchen. I like the local restaurants here and where I live, and it's great. So brings me on to number two. Speaking of parking, oh my God, I do not miss circling the truck stop for 20 minutes, hoping you can find a parking spot, and then with the e-logs not being able to go over 5 miles an hour. But I mean, just trying to find parking was just such a pain as a truck driver. I mean, that's a video in and of itself. But that's one of the biggest things that I do not miss at all. Like I said earlier, trying to figure out, well, do I want to spend the night at a customer, or do I want to take a shower and be at a truck stop, or go 2 days without a shower, sometimes 3 days, whatever. Am I going to be comfortable here? Will there be access to bathrooms, this and that? Man, I mean, I do not miss it. And so speaking of that, being comfortable and everything, just being able to walk around your own space. Like, you can get out of the truck and walk around, and yeah, you can get some exercise that way, but just being able to have a big enough house to walk around. You see, I got my 4-car garage here, plenty of room to walk around and just be active. And I'm noticing that, man, my body was just really stiff and everything, sore all the time driving the truck, because I just cramped in the same old space, and if you want to move around, you gotta go in the truck stop where there's a bunch of other people. You gotta walk around the shady truck stop parking lot. That's just a real big pain there too, man. And another thing too, that, okay, obviously you're gonna have this with any local job, you're gonna have this with any job, any lifestyle. You're never gonna get away from just shitty people. There's no other way to put it, douchebags. But I noticed everybody in truck stops, everybody, a lot of these truckers, a lot of people just in the transportation industry, period, they hate their job, man. They hate their life. The transportation industry is just so stressful that everybody you encounter just seems so unpleasant. And I noticed, being home every night, I'm noticing that generally the people that are home every night, they just enjoy life more. It just seems like that way. Yeah, so that's another thing. And then another thing that might be on the top of you guys' list, this was not, this is probably the bottom of my list, was, of course, you miss being home. I didn't, because I never had a place to stay, but now that I got my own house, I can't see myself going back. I was just staying at my friend's house or whatever, or renting hotel rooms, and I was a vagabond. I love that lifestyle. I know a lot of you guys did. That's why you guys subscribe. But man, I still like to be able to get on a bike and go wherever, but it's nice having a home base. So If I had my own house when I was trucking, I probably would have hated being away. And then coming home, and then you spend the whole time just getting the house ready and packed, and you gotta go after you cut the grass and everything and clean everything up or whatever. So I don't think it'd be worth it at all having a house if you were over the road. But it was nice while I was there. And so that's just the 5 things that are off the top of my head that I really don't miss in trucking. I'll give you guys a bonus. One of the worst things of trucking that I always stressed out about was injuring somebody, or, you know, obviously worse, and it being your fault and everything. And the truck driver is always to blame. That takes a real toll on your mental health, where you got to balance making money, getting the job done, doing it in a safe manner, getting an adequate amount of sleep. And I guess that's another thing is, like, my sleep, I got such better quality sleep now. I slept pretty good in the truck, and I slept a lot more, but it's just really nice not waking up to gunshots and people knocking on your door at 2 in the morning. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I know I keep going on, but there's just so much to hate about trucking. Man, people knocking on your door at 2 in the morning. Luckily, they cleaned up the truck stops, and I didn't hardly get any of that the past 10 years, but it was a big problem the first 4 years of trucking. So that's another thing. So stay tuned for a video of I don't know how many things that I do miss about trucking, and there are some, and I did enjoy it while I did it.